Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to welcome you to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And we're going to talk about tonight stock market keeps rising, ladies and gentlemen. But you do realize us people, the OCs, we are in trouble. The economy isn't what it appears to be. So beware, you're going to need some additional cash and extra streams of income. So how apropos that it's SSN Nation Money Making Monday. And again, thank you so much for being here and welcome. Stop struggling the gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Let's All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can see I'm in a new location, so it looks like I had a little internet interruption. So once again, please share the videos if you're here, because you never know who you're going to help, because a lot of people are looking for all kind of alternatives, trying to find out ways to earn passive income, residual income, how to start their own businesses, just literally how they can actually make more money than they did last year. And inflation is not going to change, ladies and gentlemen. The same type of numbers are going to come out this month as well when they start saying 8%, 9%, 10%, and the Federal Reserve, they're going to raise the interest rates. So we have to be proactive. We're looking at a stock market that's going up. But you guys know, when you're here in the SSN Nation, the top 10% of the wealthiest in America owns 89% of the stock market, in case you're new here. So when the stock market rise, don't let that fool you, because bulk of the people in the stock market are the wealthy, and they're trying to manipulate it, and they're doing one hell of a job. And by the way, if you just now came here into the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream and found us, thank you so much for being here. But please smash that like button. That's so the YouTube gods know that we're in the house, ladies and gentlemen. And also, please let me know if you received or saw the notification or saw the trailer. Please let me know. Let's see if we can break a record tonight. All right, let me see who's in the house. We have Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream, where he has the icon next to his name. And once again, he brings his tagline. The tagline reads, "Hey, SSN Nation, I hope everyone is doing well. Another good day on Wall Street." I got the notification and trailer. Thank you so much, number one. And also, in case you're new here, this is AKA Mr. Cool is in the house. Extraordinaire. He's here. Another good day with Wall Street. I like it. But again, I have an opinion. My opinion is this is 1929, 1930. They're going to have those 3, 4, 5, 6 days of stocks going up. So therefore, you can put money in. In fact, I already know Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool. I know you were looking at that Tesla. Tesla is back to 300. So did you buy it 260, 270, 275? That's the $1 million question. Or are you going to wait and see what happens after this rate increase coming up in the next 7 days? All right, let's see who else is in the house. Professor, aka Auntie Val, is in the house tonight. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And the icon is next to her name as well. Thank you so much for that. And she has her tagline in tow. Good evening, fam. She has the heart, she has the strength, and she's bringing the support as well. Thank you so much for that. And she received the notification and trailer. Oh, we got the double twice now. Normally, it's just either or. This time, 2 in a row for the notification and trailer. That's pretty awesome. Victor Marrero, who just got back from his European trip a couple weeks back, he's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name. Thank you so much for that support. And he brings one of 2 taglines. This one begins with, hello all, let's do this. That's what the plan is. Tonight, we got to talk about Money Making Mondays, and also we have a lot more to talk about regarding that 4,500 debt box node. The timer is ticking. We're going to discuss that. We have 1 week to go to reach at least the 1250 minimum, but we're trying to reach that 4,500. We'll get into that in a short bit. And look who else is in the house. The genius is here. That's right. Vanessa Comagate's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to her name. And in case you don't know why I get excited about the icon, ladies and gentlemen, that means they're members of the channel. That's right. There's a join button where you can become a member of the channel. They receive 1 or 2 videos per month specifically for me to them. They also are able to join me actually on a live stream, not just in the chat room, but actually on the live stream, discuss anything they want to discuss at any time, and a few other perks. So once again, she says, hey, boss and SSN fam, the genius got the COVID, so I'm listening in. Oh my, please tell me. Okay, you're in California. I'm assuming you must have taken at least 1 shot, so we don't have to worry about you dying. All right, please. Although some people, they're healthy enough where they don't have to, but I'm just saying, hopefully all goes well. And we'll thank you so much for listening in. I was anxiously waiting to see how that went with the Fingernails to Go countertop program, but I guess we'll have to wait till you're feeling a little bit better. Victor Marrero says, got the YouTube notification and the trailer. Thank you so much. That's 3. Oh no, sis, please take good care of yourself. Exactly. Wilson Coos in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he also has the icon next to his name. Thank you so much for that. And he brings his tagline. Good evening, Eric Bird and SSN family. 100% facts. And he sells money. We'll get into what he's selling, because that money he's selling are loans, ladies and gentlemen. And we're not talking about conventional. Anybody can get you a house loan. But can anybody get you a loan when you say, hey, I want to buy that property, or I want to buy that farm, or I want to buy that acreage, I want to buy a business? Can anybody get you funding for that? The answer is normally no. But Wilson Koo is versatile, ladies and gentlemen. He has investors on his laptop, tablet, phone that he can call and see if your business idea works for his investors. So again, that brings out a whole nother business opportunity for you. That's why he sells money. You know how to get in touch with them. In case you're new here, you would not. But if you want to know, it's quickeasyfunds.com, and it's QUIK, E as in Eric, Z as in zebra, funds.com, or simpler is support@stopstrugglingnow.com, and tell me you want to reach Wilson Koo, and I will send your information to him. Support@stopstrugglingnow.com. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're not one-trick ponies, like I always say. If you need some investors to invest in something and you have a nice little project, then there's ways that you can get the funding. And oh, by the way, you might not even need your credit. That's right. We try to help people here. This is the SSN Academy, SSN University, the No Guru Zone. We don't charge, ladies and gentlemen. You want information? We have superstars in the house. That's right. Superstars, entrepreneurs, business people, geniuses are here, shall I say. All right. Now, they're in the house. If you have questions, just ask. Let's go. Now, Wilson Koo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support as well. Auntie Val, thanks, sis. I sure will. Wilson Koo showing the love. Evening, Laverne P, Auntie V, Victor, and Vanessa K. All right. Stock market, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this. What the hell is going on? 2 weeks in a row, we go down. Then all of a sudden, last week, at the end of the week, it starts going up. The rally continues another day. And you all know what's happened already. You know how it works. We're not stupid around here. You are an American citizen or a foreign citizen, and you're sitting here watching this mumbo jumbo nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense when you really think about it, because when the Federal Reserve puts in their order for what they want the Wall Street guys put in their order what they want the Federal Reserve to raise the federal funds rate to, and then they already know the answer. That means they can put in or base what they're going to do on a 0.75 increase in interest rate. So they already get to go look and say, hey, what happens if our federal funds rate go from like 1.5 or 2% to 2.25 or 2.75? Can we still buy all this stuff we want to buy, or borrow all this stuff that we want to borrow and then buy? And then when they find out the answer is yes, well, let's just go buy up our own stock, because we're going to be able to increase that and increase revenue. So that should tell you right there, ladies and gentlemen, Wall Street has already said they want 0.75. What do you think the Federal Reserve's going to do in about 7 to 10 days? All right, let me know the answer. So therefore, we know the game. So therefore, if you know the game, I know the game, everyone here knows what's going on, then what should you do? Well, you have different strategies. If you believe like me, this is 1929, 1930, where they're actually manipulating and they're just going to increase the stock market until you can't. That's what I believe. Others are believing, well, I better get in right now. I better invest. It keeps going up. But a lot of people said that 3 weeks ago when it was going up for a week, and then all of a sudden it dropped for 2 weeks. So again, it's a yo-yo. So take your pick, or you can just do dollar cost average. Make an investment every week, every other week. It doesn't really matter what the stock market's doing, because overall and long term, we're talking about a 9 to 11% increase in the stock market for 40, 50, 60 years. So there's nothing wrong if you want to earn 10% on your money. All right, Vanessa Comagate, I did get the notification as well. We're up to number 4, ladies and gentlemen, and my name is the Seamless Genius. Okay, I like it, because I could never say I started off, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. I started off, she came up with a brilliant plan for fingernails to go to the countertop unit, and I called her the Evil Genius. Well, the factor was this: evil, that key word, is not really conducive to meaning a good thing, except slang means a good thing, but we couldn't go with the evil. So she says the Seamless Genius. And you know why seamless? Because when you're a genius, sometimes you can transfer a simple idea and create money out of thin air. And that's what she's done with the countertop unit. Hopefully on Wednesday or Friday, she's feeling better, so we can get into an update on what we are doing with the mall situation. And I want to hear about it. Victor Morero, yes, another bump up in the market. Today, column gains is lit up on green. Year-over-year gains, still see a lot of red, not out of the water yet. And Victor Morero, he's on top of it, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what I wanted to do, exactly what I wanted to point out tonight, because a lot of you are sitting there going, it was green last week. It's green this week. It was green like 2 weeks ago. You're sitting there and thinking incorrectly. You got to zoom out, ladies and gentlemen. Zoom out. Don't be played, because he hit the nail on the head. Year over year, when you're down 20, 30, 40, 50%, 70% of stocks are negative, that just tells you there's certain winners and there's a whole bunch of losers. And those certain winners are usually on the stock market indexes. So therefore, the index correlates with those winners winning versus the 70% of losers. Imagine if they were the ones in the stock market. things would be very, very bad. So it's all balanced out to make things appear, because they need your money, ladies and gentlemen. They need your money so they can make investments to earn 100, 200, 1,000% on your money. You need to earn that on your money. That's why you need to make investments actually in the stock market. You can do index funds as well. Get your 9%, 10%, 12%, 15% annually. Nothing wrong with that. But Victor Morales done hit it right on the head, because this right here, people always get all exuberant. But if you knew the stocks were 30% more year over year, if you knew the Dow Jones was like 38,000, 39,000, and now you look around and it's only 32,000, come on. Do you think you think it's time to buy? I don't. See, that's the difference. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, individual stocks, yes, good point to buy. Index funds, yes, good point to buy, because they dropped in value their 20, 30, 40%. So therefore, those are stable environments. And when the economy gets good, winds get good, it could be a year from now. It could be 2 years from now, right? We don't know, but we can guess. And here's what my guess is. You guys know I got a lot of opinions tonight. I'm going to talk about it. So here we are. Here's my opinion. They're going to increase the interest rates. The Federal Reserve has already said that, right? And Wall Street is on board. All right. Look at all this green up here. They're all on board. All good. So next in December, they're going to raise it again. Wall Street will be on board. They'll make maneuvers over the next 3 months. They're going to make maneuvers. Then at the beginning of the year, when they find out, oh my goodness, inflation is still 8, 9%. Oh my, we're going to have to raise interest rates again next year. Well, that means they're going to stall the economy. That also means we're going to have bond rates probably in the mid 3s to maybe 4. So now when you have millions and billions of dollars, it kind of makes sense that you would just put it in the bond market and just passively collect your 3 or 4%. When you have $100 million sitting in the bonds and you're getting 4% annually, you're not going to mind the 4 million, are you? That you don't have to even risk it. So again, this is the playbook, ladies and gentlemen. And then they have to get it high enough to stop you from being able to buy homes, which for the majority of the people, the bottom 70% use a home to create wealth, when in fact, that's a liability, because a home you are paying for. You need somebody else to pay for that. And you know who that somebody else is? That would be you, because you're going to create a business. You're going to create extra streams of revenue. You're going to create passive income. And some of you are going, Eric, what the hell are you talking about? I can't do any of that. Well, guess what? Yes, you can, because we have opportunities for you right here down below in the descriptions. Yes, we have solutions, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't leave you hanging out here to dry. We give you the information, but then we have to come correct with everything else, right? Information is only half of the battle. What are you going to do with the information to make it financially feasible for you to get better? That's the $1 million question. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Are you willing to make those sacrifices? All right, here we go. Wilson Koo showing some love from Vanessa Comagate. Hey, Koo, man. All right. Got the notification and trailer from Wilson Koo. Thank you so much. That's 5 people, ladies and gentlemen. Way to go. Awesome. I did get both shots. It will run its course. There we go. Vanessa Comagate, thank you so much for letting me know. I know we have no fear of you going down to the hospital, being in the not the fibrillator, but what do you call those things? Well, anyhow, the lung machines. We won't have to worry about that then. I'm very, very happy to hear. All right. Hope you have a speedy recovery. Exactly. She will be fine, hopefully. All right. Wilson Koo, thank you for the love. Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool says, good evening, Mr. Cool. I hope you're doing well. Vanessa Comagate showing nothing but the love around here. Oh, no. Drink lots of fluids. Hope you feel better soon. That's it. Exactly. Call us in by Friday. She should be up and operational. Carleone King, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Very, very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much for being here. And he says, anxiously waiting to listen in on tonight's topic. Thank you. Got the YouTube notification and trailer. Oh my, we're up to 7 people, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful. listening in from Miami. All right, with my bread and Aida Blues, Mr. Miami's in the house. That's right, where Mr. Worldwide #2 lives. All right, I love it. Thank you so much for listening in because, again, we started it off, ladies and gentlemen. Don't look at what's happening in a short scope. If the stock market rose every week for the next 5 weeks, we still would not be at all-time market highs. That just gives you an idea because in the short term, when you start looking, you go, oh man, the stock market rose this week, last week, the next week, and the next week. It must be good. Let me put my money in. Then when you zoom out and say, hey, what is it year over year? And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Actually, we're down. And there's a recession. And there's bad economy. And earnings are down in the stock markets with companies. And the Federal Reserve is still loaning these companies money. They're still printing money out of thin air via bonds. So therefore, you have to understand what's happening. So we're not going to lose, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do is, you guys know, with the housing market, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's finally on the bandwagon. Now, hold on. Let me explain something. When I start saying everybody, I just mean in the YouTube streets. All of a sudden, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it was because I commented on a couple real estate guys' stuff in the last month or so, but maybe that's why all of a sudden I'm getting inundated with all these people saying things like, oh no, the stock market's going to crash. Now, once again, I'm beating my chest because I was talking about this 8-9 months ago. In fact, last year, but nonetheless, all these guys, Johnny come latelys, well, welcome to the party. Now that you get up to speed, this was inevitable. All right. It was inevitable, and it's going to be inevitable for the next year as well. There is no way the stock or the real estate market or housing is going to stay up. I keep hearing all these people talking nonsense as well. We're not going to be caught. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's just get real. Real estate investing is, look, you're going to have to get into the home game next year. Not multifamily. Multifamily is a whole different animal. Remember, multifamily is based on revenues and profits coming in. So that's the value of the property. So in other words, if you use a single family home as a multifamily home, I'll give you an example. If somebody said, hey, I rent out a single family home, and I'm charging the person $5,000 per month. All right. So at the end of a year, that's $60,000. How much should that house be worth if you consider it as a asset? That's the $1 million question. Is it 600,000? Is it 720,000? Is your cap rate 4%, cap rate 3%, cap rate 10% or 15%? It all depends on the market. But my point is this: single family homes go by, when the appraiser comes out, what the home sold for in the neighborhood. Now, if I was able to put together a portfolio and I had 3 homes, and all 3 homes I'm charging $5,000, and I'm getting $60,000 each and $180,000, well, now we have like $2 million worth of homes. That's what the big boys do. But you as an individual, you're buying it to live in, which means that's an expense, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to think differently. So what you have to do if you're going to buy a house, you don't do anything crazy. You don't overpay for a house. You don't enter the housing market in 2021 and 2022, knowing full well a falling knife, prices are going down. That doesn't make much sense, does it? Because after they raise the interest rate another 0.75, Victor Marrero can probably figure it out. Wilson Koo can probably figure it out. That means another $100 damn near is going to cost you more per month. You guys getting the picture? So then that means you can afford less house. So that means the house has to come down a certain value. So once again, who wants to be spending $4,000 a month, right, for a $400,000 house? I don't think you want to do that. All right. So get things straight in your head. What we want to do is, again, we want to wait till when the housing market goes down 20%. Again, there's people that said Eric, it's only going to go down 10 to 20%. I said, okay, look, it's going to go down 10 to 20% in the next 2 months when people started spouting that nonsense 2 months ago. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's going down another 10, 20%. So you should find yourself around 40%, should not even be an issue in a whole bunch of markets. And I'm going for the 40 to 60%. We're looking for that 50%, ladies and gentlemen, because the Federal Reserve is going to raise these points up another 2 points over the next 5 months. All right, get it straight. So plan accordingly. So then you pick up something and don't worry, even if it's 10%, who cares? If the interest rate's 10% and you get a house for 50%, guess what? You're going to pay less than buying that house at 100% more than what it costs later for this for the interest rate right now. So therefore, you're going to come out ahead. Who's going to care? Look, let's do numbers so everybody understands. Got a gold mine in the US looking for investors? That's right. Go see Wilson Koo at quickeasyfunds.com or send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. And Victor Marrero's helping out with the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. Jump on the ETF and index fund train. Exactly. I'm not mad at them because these guys have already put in and then bought some stocks for their index fund or their ETF based on already putting in that extra 0.75 this time. It's probably going to be another 0.75 in December. And they've already told the Federal Reserve, their buddies, what they can live with. So whether it's 50% in December, whether it's 50% in March or February, it does not matter. That's their MO. They already know what's going to happen. They're talking to their buddies. So therefore, they are making moves right now, picking up these cheap stocks, which, by the way, notice green days. I wonder who's buying. You getting a clue yet who's buying? Any idea? All right. The same guys that can borrow money at 1.5%, 1%, those guys, maybe they're borrowing money, which is free money when inflation is 20%. Okay, I'm sorry. The United States says inflation is 8.6, 9.1. We know it's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled. That's why we need our extra streams of revenue. But look at this. Wilson Koo and Victor Marrero. Wilson Koo gives you options for funding. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about out the box. Some of you may be sitting there going, I don't have the right credit. I don't have down payment. Who needs credit? Who needs down payment when you're buying real assets, multifamily, or some assets that has nothing to do with a home or a car or credit cards? You can have investors put down your 25% for you. Yeah, they might want 13% or 15%. But if your project is making money, then you can pay them. Or maybe your project isn't making money, but you need to rehab something. So now you're going, well, I don't have the money to rehab. Fine. That's why you need to see Wilson Koo. Victor Marrero has been kind enough to share some index and ETF funds. Now, once again, the ones that begin with V, all right, those are Vanguards. They generally have the cheapest expense. All right. So what we mean by that is the hidden poison pill in most index funds, ETF funds is people are sitting there going, oh, I earned 15%. Then they find out that maybe you lost 1% on your money because the interest rate, the expense rate was 1.5. So now all of a sudden that 1.5 taken out every year starts adding up when you really think about it. Now, Vanguard's usually under one. It's usually 0.75, 0.5. It's low compared to the industry, all right? So Vanguard, VOO, all right, that's a good one. He knows I love it. Now he brings his Schwab in, SCHB, all right. He's got the VUG, the VOOG, the VTI. That's right. Can't go wrong with either one. DCA at full force. I agree with him. Dollar cost averaging, ladies and gentlemen. We have the solutions here. Stock market keeps rising. People are in trouble. You need to get situated now. Don't wait till everything hits rock bottom and everything turns into chaos. You want to formulate a plan right now, the SSN Nation way, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you do it while you're nice and calm, nice and cool, while you're sitting here going, okay, I can make decisions based on, your stable environment. Because all of a sudden, If you get the call. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Let's go. Can't go wrong with either DCA. That's dollar cost average, meaning every week, every 2 weeks, every month, you're just investing in, let's just say, VOO. All right. So that way, it doesn't matter if it's $50 a share this month or $52 a share next month, you're still buying. If it goes down to 45, you're still buying. It doesn't matter. So your dollar cost average is based over time. So when you're getting your 9%, 10%, 12%, 14% annual return, you're liking that. And he left one off. JEPI, ladies and gentlemen. I got to give it to him. JEPI. You got to go with Chase. Got to go with the Chase. All right. Because they're, a Fed bank. You got to go with them. They have an advantage. So that's what you want to do. All right, here we go. ConoRock has units starting at 158K. All right, Wilson Koo, are we talking about the 1-bedroom units now or 158K? Is that what you're telling me? Don't say anything about 158K because that used to be, well, at ConoRock, 230 was a 2-bedroom. 158K would indicate to me a 1-bedroom price. Is that the 1-bedroom penthouse price? And which spot is it? He's saying it's the Kana Bay Beach Club. All right, that's a different project, but I like it. Is that a 2-bedroom at the Kana Bay? Let me know. Wilson Koo, you got to be more specific. Let us know what we're talking about here. Is this pre-construction? I think Kana Bay Beach Club actually has already been built. So that would mean somebody's selling their condo there for 158K. And I'm assuming that's a 2-bedroom, but it might be a 1-bedroom because that's on the border of a 1 or 2-bedroom. But let me know. Let us know some more. Wilson Koo, a gold mine, really? Where at? Exactly. Kana Bay Beach Club. That's pre-construction, or I think Kana Bay's already built. So it's not pre-construction. But if it is, that would be Kana Bay Beach Club 3, I guess, because I think there's 2 already. So let me know. But again, real estate investing where you're using Airbnb, VRBO, and vacation rental areas. Now, that is an asset, ladies and gentlemen. No credit check, no qualifying. You get yourself in those doors. Now, all of a sudden, you're at one of the highest tourist locations in all of Latin America and the Caribbean, #1. So therefore, you have an advantage. And spending $250,000 or less to get yourself something that can return to you $30,000, $40,000 per year for the rest of your life, I think it's worth a visit. I do have some videos that you can check out by searching the channel. Just put in Punta Cana. You'll see several videos because I've been talking about it for 2 years. That's right, over 2 years now. So therefore, SSN Nation members were already there. There's 37, 38 members here in SSN Nation that is invested in the Dominican Republic. Not everybody invested in Punta Cana. Some did Santo Domingo, some did Sosua, some did Cabarete. But the bulk of people, around 31, 32, invested within 30 miles of Punta Cana. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So they know the numbers. All right, let's see what else we got. Honestly, you can mimic the mall concept with any product you wish to sell. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate, except there's one thing. You have something that nobody else has. See, you have a situation where you can sell to people and they can buy the product, a $5,000 product, with credit. Most people don't have that in. So that's why it's pretty major. Yes, the mall concept is one thing, but being able to turn it into, hey, I have a $5,000 product and actually trying to sell it for $5,000 versus somebody coming in going, okay, I don't have $5,000, but I have $500 that I can put down and then make monthly payments. Now you get more customers on the $500 in monthly payments versus somebody having the $5,000, because as we know, 70% of the population doesn't have $1,000 in their bank account. That's right. Everything I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, you can Google. All right. So I won't show it on screen tonight, but there we go. Now, down below in the description, we talked about stocks. Please get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. All right. We're talking about stock market keeps rising. Get your Robinhood and Webull free stocks if you haven't already. The other thing regarding stocks rising, think about dividend stocks. Okay. I've been talking about AGNC. The reason why is because AGNC is 12% dividends. That's 1% per month dividends. That beats the United States inflationary imaginary number, but nonetheless 12% is nothing to sneeze at. All right, that's pretty good. Now the other one, ORC, that's at 15% right now, but that's risky because both of these are real estate related, which means they're risky. But is it really risky when you have renters, multifamily properties? You might lose tenants, but you're still going to have rents coming in. So it all depends on if you bought them and they were A+ units where your cap rate is so low, 2%, 3%, you may not be able to survive if 10 to 15% of your tenants don't pay. I'm not going to say who falls in that category, but you guys, if you're longtime listeners, you know who falls in that category. That guy. All right. So let's go. All right. That person might be in trouble. All right. Victor Marrero Wilson, which Connor Rock project? That's probably Universe. They have 1 bedrooms, and I believe they come with furniture. Also, Universe is just a 5-minute walk to the Hard Rock Hotel. Location is great. Yeah. All the Connor Rocks. Galaxy's the best. And then it starts stepping as you go out further. I think Universe next to Galaxy. I don't remember the actual locations. I remember the Connor condos. They're further out. But just sent to Eric. Okay, let's see what this is. We got to find out, ladies and gentlemen, because you know this is what we talk about around here. We get you right because you never know. You want to be diversified. You just don't want people to tell you to buy stocks. You don't want people to tell you to just go out here and start a business, because all of these items, when you're saying go do this, go do that, that means you have to make a commitment. And while you're making a commitment for one thing, remember that's taken away from an opportunity from another, because it's very hard to juggle 3, 4, 5, 6 things at a time, especially if you haven't been already studying it. And you have to get up to speed because there's a learning curve for everything. Even if you know what's going on, there's a learning curve because there's always something new. Just like right now, we've talked real estate investing, but we talked pre-construction condos. 2 years ago, no COVID, interest rates were low, everything's rocking and rolling. So nobody figured that there would be any problems with being able to get funding for the projects in any international location. Well, now the whole world has to raise their interest rates. So therefore, anticipation of 8% worst case scenario for a loan could now be in double digits, 10, 11%. The good news, though, you only owe less than 100 grand, right? Or around 100 grand. That's the good news, because if you bought a property and you're going to have to pay 200 or 300 grand, holy smokes, $3,000 per month plus HOA fees, you're getting up there. So just keep that in mind. All right. So don't worry about that, especially when you get in at the cheaper price. Now, let's see what else we're going to talk about today before we get any further. Connor Rock Universe. Connor Rock. So it is Universe. Okay, so it is a 1 bedroom then. Diesel Mike is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here in the house with the icon next to your name. And he says, good evening, Eric and SSN family. Got the notification. Thank you so much. That's 8 people, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Anybody else that received the notification? Maybe we can break the record tonight. We'll see. Here we are. Connor Rock, 158. Yeah, Vanessa Comagate, that could be a 1 bedroom. Now, I want to illustrate something, because here it is, cruising land. Remember, you can buy a 3 bedroom for 130. I'm just saying. See, this is what happens. 3 bedroom for 130 and a 3 bedroom penthouse, or one on the bottom floor, I can't remember, for 160, 170. So just keep all these in mind. There's options available. I want to know if it's a 1-bedroom, quite frankly, because I can only think it is. A 2-bedroom is going to be 200 and something. So, or 3 maybe. So I'm thinking it's a 1-bedroom. And so I'm not too excited about that. Although that's in my top 5 locations in Punta Cana to buy. I will say that. You guys know downtown Vista Cana. I moved Cruise and Land into my top 5. That project. Now, instead of location, that project is in there. And then Cana Rock is 4. And then, I had to do something about Cap Cana because most people can't afford Cap Cana, nor should you try to, because you have to pay more money in Cap Cana generally. But even Cap Cana started coming up with condos that are under 200K. They're back. They're not by the water or anything crazy. They're not on the golf course. But nonetheless, inside Cap Cana, they started building these small little projects, which is fine. But as you guys know, you want amenities, amenities, amenities. You want your customer, your guest, you want them to be able to say, hey, I don't have to leave this place. This is awesome. I got my little bike ride around here. I have my soccer field for the kids. I got my baseball, my tennis, my basketball, my fitness room, my yoga room, my restaurants, my bars, my pools or man-made lakes or ocean. All of that matters. Or casino, golf course, driving range. I mean, all of that matters. And that's why they're in my top 5. All right. So let me see what's going on here, because if it's Universe, is it a 1-bedroom? That's what we care about. Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, I already know it's a 1-bedroom because we know Cana Rock. There's no way they're giving up 2 bedrooms for 158. So the 158 must be a 1-bedroom fully furnished. That's the only thing I can think of, because these 1-bedrooms initially was, well, you could have got one for 90 grand. A year and a half ago, it was 89,000 when they had their special, 10% off. So that was beautiful. Now, what happened? If it includes the furniture package for 158, that's fine. But then they went up to 199. Then they went up to 117. So now at 158, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody was able to buy the same 1-bedroom for 90 grand. 90. If they're selling these new ones at 158, see, this is what happens sometimes. You win when you make investments, when you try to go for it. You get to win, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we were talking about 2 years ago. All right? So just keep these things in mind. All right. Here we are. Evening at Diesel M from Wilson Koo. Yep. Maria Barnes is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And she has her tagline. Hello, Eric and SSN family. How is everybody doing? I got the notification and trailer. Thank you so much. And she's also known as AKA Mrs. Cool is here. Thank you so much for being here once again. That's 9 people, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Can we get double digits for that trailer and notification? Let me know. All right. Wilson Koo says evening at Maria B. All right. I'm a little excited, ladies and gentlemen. Another opportunity at Cana Rock Universe. And in fact, DJ Robbie D from Philly Solutions is in the house tonight. He's spinning the wheels of steel with the icon next to his name. Thank you so much for being here. He brings a tagline tonight. Hello, SSN Nation. Hope all is well. Hope all is going well with you as well, Robbie D Solutions. Thank you so much. Once again, Wilson Koo says evening at Robbie D. Thank you. Showing the love. Vanessa K, email me. Uh-oh, here we go. DJ Robbie D says, I got this notification. Okay. Uh-oh. Is that 11, ladies and gentlemen? I think we're up to 11. Can we break the record tonight? Let's go. Vanessa Comagate. Actually, I just checked the website and the adjusted price ran to a max of 130K for Universe and 3 came up. That's a steal. If this is the case, these won't last. All right. I'm running over there to the website as well. So are we talking about then the 158? Could that possibly be 130 and 28 is yes, that might mean it includes furniture. And the only way you can get into the management investment pool is you have to include the furniture package. So that may be what it is. But 130, look, again, it was 89, 99, 114, 117. Now it's up to 130, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about that is awesome. Whoever was able to get theirs at 90 grand, they actually, even if it's at 130, that's a $40,000 increase. Their loan to value, they had to put down, I can't remember. Was it 40% down? So roughly, they put down $36,000. So they would owe like 55,000, and it would now be worth potentially 130 to 160. That already has them below 50% LTV, 40% LTV. That means they more than likely would be able to get a loan. They won't have a problem once they make their monthly payments. These are no credit check, no qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. You do have to put down 10 to 15%, 20% down. But again, I'm over here on their website, 371 available. So, okay, hold on. Let's just go here. Before I get to this, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Beware, you need cash. Don't worry, that's coming down below in the description. You will see several things that says SSN Lifestyle, passive income opportunities, all these type of different terminologies down below the video in the description. Those are all ways that you can earn extra streams of income because you're going to need cash, ladies and gentlemen. We're all going to be in trouble. All right. Hold on. Before I get into this, let me see if Victor Morrell, yes, price range. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go, let's go pull this one. We're going to go, I'm going to go get Connor Rock. Some people don't understand. This is real estate. This is the big boys club, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You don't nothing to be afraid of. All right. The only thing you have to do is have a plan. So some of you may not feel comfortable because it's overseas. Well, then you need to get the $158,000 one bedroom condo that sleeps up to 4 if you have a sofa sleeper. I don't know if they're going to include a sofa sleeper, but this is Connor Rock Universe. All right. So one bedroom units, 53 square meters, which is roughly 560, 570. That's a nice size square foot. One bedroom. Two bedrooms are 73 square meters. And 88 square meters is probably the penthouse. All right. Now, here's what the renderings are. In fact, I don't even know if this is a rendering. They might have actual pictures from one of the other properties, but this looks like renderings. Because, well, yeah, this looks like it's at the Connor Rock condos. Am I in the right spot? Yes, this is Universe. All right. So 3 pools, a gym, golf course views because it's on the golf course, golf cart parking. I love that. Elevators, cool. Valet parking, cool. 4 signature restaurants. Really? I like that. I didn't realize that. Main lobby with reception area and a mini mart. See, ladies and gentlemen, amenities, gym, pools, golf course views. People like that. Golf cart parking. I like that. And that means you have an opportunity to add your golf cart maybe. So that's pretty cool for your guests. Main lobby with reception area and a mini mart. That's good. I don't have to leave to get a snack. And 4 restaurants. We definitely don't have to leave to eat. And then we can still go to the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel. We can still go to the Connor Rock Beach Club. That's on the table. And you're less than 100 yards from the beach. All right. They got the amenities in play. And they include white line, as they call it. That means your stove, your fridge, your washer and dryer, your basic furniture package on selected units, extractor, and fully air conditioned. That's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Those AC units can run you up to $10,000 each. Generally, they buy in bulk, so they probably got them for $4,000 to $5,000 each. But all I'm saying is if you had to put them in, it might be costly. Let's go over here and see what we can do. Let's see if it comes up. Remember, I used to never. Oh, wait, we got it. It came up. I don't believe it. They've changed up. Okay, it looks like $3,000 to reserve. And I haven't been over here in a while. I will go to 4th floor. Here goes. Wait, this is a penthouse here. Hold on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sometime the penthouse is worth it. Look at it. Here's the penthouse. It looks like you walk upstairs to another level. That's pretty awesome. This 1 bedroom, is it a studio or is it a 1 bedroom? Here goes the pools down here. Little bridge to come out, go walking around, go to the golf course. This looks like an eating area or lounge area. Don't know this project that well, but that looks pretty cool. All right. See, once again, I don't know where Victor Marrero gets these prices from. Maybe this is it. He's always able to find those prices. I can never find them. I can never find them. He's always finding them. I don't get it. I don't get it. How does he do it? Maybe it's under shop. When they first came out, they used to have it where you could actually pull it up and it would tell you. Okay, hold on. Let's go. All right, here's what we're doing. Let's go back. Victor Marrero, I'll let him tell me maybe. Price range. He says facts. Thank you so much. Maria Barnes. Hello, Mr. Cool. See the love in the house, ladies and gentlemen, that goes on here. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name. Thank you so much. And he brings his tagline, the most important tagline. Hello, SSN family. ABMM. In case you're new here, that means always be making money. That's right. That's what we got to do. That's why we call this Passive Income 2022. That's what you should be doing right now, trying to get passive income all set up. And that's why down below, check out my EasyTron bot. Check it out. Step 1, step 2, there's a video that you can check out, but go down below if you want to earn up to 1.5% every day. Then my EasyTron bot passively, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The link is down below. Step 1, download Telegram app on your phone. Step 2, check out the video because Melanie Bonita, Miss 27 Streams of Income, does a live stream with me and we go over the steps to get started. Although you can actually get started yourself. You don't really need the video, but it helps out greatly because people are asking questions that you may have. All right. And so Curtis Davis, aka Mr. Financial, has his own channel. That's right. He's known as Chili Davis on his own channel. And guess what? He has updates on the stock market. You know the stock market's rising. He gives you updates on if there's stock splits, if there's earning reports, if there's any other type of news that comes out. He gives you updates throughout the day that can help you make decisions. The more knowledgeable you are, the better decisions that you can make. All right, let's keep moving. Please, 53 minutes in, smash those like buttons. They're free of charge. And anybody listening to this and you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. And oh, don't forget, click the all notification bell. All right, let's see if I can find out where these sales are. Yeah, it's the location that makes it a great deal. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. Because if Cana Rock was actually not on the water and not with Hard Rock Casino and Hotel amenities and where they have the concert, that wouldn't have as much weight. In fact, it wouldn't have that much weight because they would have added other amenities though, because the beach wouldn't be there. So, or their beach club wouldn't be there. So what they would have done is probably what they would have at Vista Cana. They would have spent that money on either a man-made lake or some other amenities to get people to come there. They don't have to do that because they have all these amenities at the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel, plus the beach club, plus the lake. Plus the beaches right there. So they have a whole different animal. That's why this one's a whole different animal compared to other projects that are on the water, because they don't have the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel there. So that makes things different. All right. The problem with Cap Cana is not so much the price anymore. It's the HOA fees. Exactly. Remember, you're paying for that marina. Thank you very much. That's the problem. So you can sit there and buy a $200,000 condo. Villas cost more. But like he says, are you willing to pay $5 a square foot for your HOAs? I don't think so. All right. And it's going to keep rising because they're not done. All right, Eric, just sent you the website to Cana Rock. Okay. All right. Yeah, I have the website. I have Cana Rock, but I can never find the I could I can never find the price. See, see, have the remember back in the day, they used to have the prices all listed and then they would allow you to choose. So see, I see Universe D540, but it doesn't have a price. It just says you're putting down 3% or $3,000, but I don't know how much this cost. So where are you finding the cost is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not finding cost anywhere. And this is a problem I've always had with their website. It drives me crazy. It really, really drives me crazy. All right. So maybe we can figure this out. And by the way, in case I didn't say, Mr. Financial's website is Chili Davis with 2 L's, CHILLY, Chili Davis with 2 L's. All right, let's go. Yeah, I have the Cana Rock. As you can see, it's up, but I can't figure out how to get the price. I never could. It never tells me. They jack me every time. I don't know where to go. Their website was so cool at first because they literally listed the price. And I click on availability and I can see availability. They have a lot of availability, ladies and gentlemen. So that's kind of cool. Cana Rock apartment. Holy smokes. Hold on a second. They have swim up? Hold on. Let's just go check this out. Do they have swim ups available? There's no way they have swim ups. Okay, I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, if they had swim ups, that would have been, besides the penthouse, that would, a corner unit's always good. That's extra space generally. Let's see if that's available. Those will probably be, let's see if those will be taken. All right, looks like there's a couple available. Huh. 4th floor, but that's not penthouse. Oh, 5th floor is penthouse. That's a penthouse. 1 bedroom, 97 square meters. That means there's a terrace up there. Wait a minute. What's this down here? It says show more. All right. Well, maybe you guys will give me the secret on where to find the prices for this. All right. Well, let's move along. 57 minutes in. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Wilson Cruz says, evening, Curtis D. All right. You were there. All you have to do is adjust the range on the left side. All right. I get you, but what does that mean? It does me no good. I mean, seriously. All right, I'm going to do it this way. Select all types. All right. Find property. So I'm looking for the price, though. I can't find the price. So see, I know it's under 200 grand, but I don't see a price. Well, there's a bunch for sale. This is interesting. All right. So here's the deal. You guys know how I feel. 1 bedrooms are cool. But again, you're able to get 1 bedrooms at other locations. This is premier. This is one of the top 5. So 158 fully furnished is not bad. 130 unfurnished is still not bad. But if we start doing comparison shopping, I'm saying if I'm going to spend 130, I want a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom penthouse somewhere. And that's doable. You can even get a villa somewhere. Although you won't get that beach club, you won't get everything else. So it all depends on what your master plan is with regard to making money and using Airbnb, VRBO, and rentals. All right. So once again, I'm going to click on this. We'll go here. Again, I go to here, add to cart. I don't I just don't see it. It doesn't come up for me. No prices. So where's the prices at? In fact, Victor Marrero, send me a link where the price page is. All right. That would be good. Now, always annoyed with their website. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it's always been for 2 years, except for the first 6 months. They had a website that just showed the prices so you could reserve. So it was beautiful. Ever since then, I can't find it. Here we go. They sent me the brochure today for ConaRock. That's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, well, send me the brochure. Yes. What are the HOA fees? I don't know. I think it's $2. So it's going to be probably $2 to $2.50. So let's just say you have 55 square meters. That's $110 per month. That's reasonable. If it's $3, then that's $150. That starts getting up there. They took the prices. Here we go. They took the prices down after COVID. On the website, you need to adjust the max price range on the left of the screen, and that will give you an idea of max price. Okay, got you. That makes more sense. So that's why you were saying. So when I went down to 200,000, that's not good enough. So I got to go below that. So Wilson Koo says 160. So these are going to be 158. So what I have to do is, okay, so I bring this bottom number up to, let's go, well, I can't do it. It only gives me 130. Let's see if there's any change here. That would indicate no, that's the same. So it's 130 to 160. Okay, so I'm going to go back down here. Let's go down to 130 and see if this changes. I have a feeling I know what's going to change, the penthouse unit, right? Oh, there we go. So here goes some that are 130 still or less. These are the only ones that are 130, which is very, very interesting. So fourth floor, second floor. These are all one bedrooms. So now we can figure it out. So now we can do this. 130 to 1. Well, hold on. Let me do this. I'm going to do, well, no, we'll stay there. So now we're back to 130 to 160, and all of a sudden a whole bunch shows up. A whole bunch more. A whole bunch. So that's oh, and there's even more. So there's all kind of one bedrooms available. Sheesh. All right. So now what are we going to do? We're going to go past 50 square meters. Let's go find that property that's bigger than that. Oh, well, we're not going to find any for 160, right? Victor Marrero's price range. Let's see here. Well, okay. Let's see if we have any for 200. All right. We're doing a search and find mentioned at ConaRock, ladies and gentlemen. This is in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Oh, my. The 2 bedrooms are definitely not 200. We already knew that, actually. Let's see if they're up to 300 now. All right. Looks like we have 2-bedroom penthouses. Well, this is interesting. Do we know how much these are? These are probably two. They got to be near $299. Is this a 1-bedroom, 2-bath? What is this? Wait. Washer, dryer. I can't tell what this is. All right. Well, I wish these guys would just come correct. Just list the damn prices. Come on. 114. That's interesting. 2 bathrooms. That's interesting. Could this be? Oh, these are all penthouses. But they have a 95. This is weird. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I won't keep going. If you want to know where, go check out ConaRock. I'll give you right here. It's ConaRock.info for everybody on podcast. All right. ConnorRock.info. I'm going to put it in the chat room in case you want to go there. All right. So I can't take it anymore with these guys. All right. Wilson Coos says hello, family from Curtis Davis. All right. Remember, Universe is their new project. Ah, okay. It's been on their website for so long, I forget it's new because it was there 2 years ago. It said Connor Rock, Universe, Galaxy, Star, condos. I mean, it's been listed for the last 2.5, well, obviously 3 or 4 years because you got in 2018 or 2019. So it was listed before then. So that's why I think they're so old. But he's right. That means their prices are going to be up there a little bit more. The old ones. Okay, let's go. I'm just going to do this, and then we'll get into other things, ladies and gentlemen. All right, because we have to start talking about passive income opportunities. Because if we're in trouble, we're going to need some cash. And since Victor Marrero is an owner at Connor Rock Galaxy, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have someone here that is bought at Connor Rock Galaxy pre-construction. And I'll just tell you what it was: $230,000 for a 2-bedroom. 97 are sold, so he's in this sold category. They have had delays, and they are the closest to the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel, and they're the closest to the beach club and the beach. So it's almost like the gateway, the perfect location when your guests are staying there and somebody says, oh, how far? Because that's going to be the questions. Whenever somebody goes to an island, first questions are first. How far is it from the beach? And when you say 100 yards or less, they go, oh, yes, this is awesome. Then the next question is going to be, well, how far is Hard Rock Casino and Hotel? And they go, well, that's like 30 yards away or less. You're going to be like, what? Oh, my God. And then when he does this special ambiance, when they come in and see that little basket and then they see some wristbands in there, he's going to be like, wait a minute, what's these wristbands? Oh, I get to go over and use the amenities at the Hard Rock for a day or two? Yes. They're going to be like, oh, my God, he's got people paying $600, $700, $800 per night for his 2-bedroom condo. All right, just giving you the guys an idea. But notice this has golf cart parking, a gym, elevators, main lobby with reception, a mini mart, signature restaurants. Notice they don't name 4 restaurants like Universe, but that doesn't mean anything. I think they only have, it says plural. I thought they only had 1 restaurant there. Ocean and golf course views, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Infinity pools. So they have 1 pool there, but ocean views, that is major. All right. That's major. I'm just going to tell you like it is. Forego the pool. I mean, multiple pools. I'd rather have, well, if I can get an ocean view unit over here, that would be sweet, because that is always a caveat. How far is it from the beach? Okay, 100 yards. But the unit has ocean views. Oh my God. All right. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty good. Victor Marrero, let me know when you picked this out, did they give you an option for ocean views? Because I didn't. This is the first I've heard of this ocean view option for the Galaxy. Oh my, look at this. $500,000, Victor Marrero. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go looky. Let's go looky loos. We're gonna go find out something, right? Look, I don't think. Okay, let's go find out. They have anything under 160? They should. They have the 1-bedrooms, I think. Let's see. No. Oh my. Nothing under 160. Victor Marrero. Everybody at the Galaxy, congratulations. Look at this. Nothing under 200. Holy smokes. Not even a 1-bedroom over there. I don't know if they have 1-bedrooms, but there's no 1-bedrooms. All right. Oh, there are 1-bedrooms. Victor Marrero, like I said, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, there was nothing under 200. So that means the 1-bedrooms at the Galaxy are over 200. They're between 200 and 300. Last year, we were reporting this, that it was like 170, I think, somewhere like that. There was some of these selling for 300. which was very interesting. I don't know if they're the penthouse or if there's some special 1 bedroom or some special thing, but congratulations, Victor Marrero, because as I said, he bought his 2 bedroom for $231. Notice there are no 2 bedrooms on this list under $300K, ladies and gentlemen. You do notice this, right? So we're going to go out. So his property is over 300 for sure. So we're going to go right here. So this is probably where we're going to see some 2 bedrooms. Let's see. Yes, this is where we find the 2 bedrooms. Congratulations, Victor Marrero. So like we were saying before, 70, 80, $100,000 more, and he's only going to owe a little over 100. So here we are again, where he's going to have that 30% or less LTV. He could have a 25% LTV by the time this is finished. And therefore, even if there's interest rates are 12, 13%, it may be worth it, because instead of paying cash, you might as well make sure that cash is getting you that 10% off of your VOOG. That would be a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? So just keep that in mind. Everybody who bought at Connor Rock, Victor Marrero is the only one that I know of that bought at Connor Rock. Congratulations to him, and anybody else who finds this video later. You guys have done the damn thing. That's pretty sweet. Gotta love it. All right. So here we go. Hit that like button. We're 1 hour and 11 minutes in. Thank you so much, Wilson Koo. And because of that, we got to run a video. We got to run a promo. I got to get some water. Anything over 100 square meters is typically a 2 bedroom at least. To give an example, my Galaxy 128 square meters, which is 1378 square feet. That's very nice. Very, very nice. And congratulations. Once again, you're in the 300 plus range, as we knew. Because remember, I think last year we were talking 330. So it's probably more than that right now. So congratulations. I'll be there in 30 days to stay at the Hard Rock and check my apartment. I can bring any info you guys need. The top floor units have ocean view. Well, those top floor units are going to be 400K, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just call it what it is. All right. Don't try to be, this isn't going to be for the look at this. In fact, I don't even think they're going to be available. So you're talking about 5th floor is top floor, I'm assuming, right? So here we go. This is 4th floor right here. So guess what? We're going to go to 500. And I have a feeling this is where we'll find the 5th floor. If there's a 5th floor, we'll find it here. Nope, no 5th floor. No 5th floors. Not yet. Wow. 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 Could it, don't even say there's 600. Ladies and gentlemen, this would be incredible. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 5? Okay, so they only have 4 floors. That's the deal. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Oh, looks like I got out of, we're out. We lost some, we lost. All right. Well, Victor Marrero is going to be bringing back, and he's going to, are you going to go to that? In fact, let me show this, because this will be interesting. Awaken the senses, ladies and gentlemen. Are you going over here, Victor Marrero, when you go? Let me know. This ought to be cool.
I love the
right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Riviera Mayan, Hard Rock, and Punta Cana, Hard Rock, has this awaken the senses. $150 per person, 12 people at a time can be in that room. That gives you an idea. That's pretty awesome as well. And imagine what this is going to turn into. So it looks like one of the top 5 places is doing what it should be doing with regard to value. Everything has went up at least. What do we call something that went up from 90? I'll even just make it simple, 100,000 to 150,000. That is 60% increase. All right. So if we go by 60% increase for Victor Morel's 2-bedroom, that means his 230 is somewhere within the $350,000 to $400,000 range by the time they finish building this. All right. That is a win, ladies and gentlemen. And just think, you can still actually get in on this. This is incredible. All right. So just think about that. Not at the 230 price or 235, but call it what it is. You're going to have to spend more. This is what happens when you're sleeping or don't find out about information in a timely manner. Everybody 2 years ago was able to find out in a timely manner. All right. 2 years, a year and a half ago, it was still $50,000, $60,000 less than what they are now. So don't worry. There's other projects. Go check out the channel. Search for Cruise Inland. That's pretty good. It's not at the beach. Go check out Vista Cana properties. Those have amenities. The beach at downtown Punta Cana City, amenities, has a man-made lake. Those are all good locations. They're in the top 5. All right. So just keep that in mind. All right. Beware. We need cash. Let's talk about some of that. I'm on the 4th floor. The 5th floor has the penthouses, and they're way over 400K with ocean view. Yeah. The restaurant on the top floor has panoramic view of ocean and Gulf. Oh my. There we go. Well, then you don't need ocean view. If you have restaurant on the top floor. So you can automatically go up to the restaurant. So a lot, again, I'm not a big fan, of ocean view because quite frankly, I don't mind having an ocean view room. But the bottom line is when I'm there, I'm not sitting on my patio. I'm not sitting in my room looking at the ocean. See, that's always my thing. You're usually gone. So when you come back, okay, it's sometimes evening, it's dark. Okay, you know there's an ocean there. In fact, you might even be able to hear it. But the thing is, it's not like you're going to be sitting in your room just going, oh, yeah, that ocean is nice. No, you're not going to be doing that the majority of your stay. And what's even funnier, like I said before, you guys know this. You've been on vacation before where people are already down in the morning at 6 or 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, putting like towels in chairs so they can reserve their chairs so they can sit around the pool. I'm like, that makes no sense either. All right. But thank you so much for that. Okay, I tried to make a reservation for that new Hard Rock restaurant. Was told I need to be in person to make it. Yeah, I had a feeling they're going to do that because it's a simple logistic nightmare. If you're not there, they make reservations. Now they're all set to go. Now you're waiting on people who aren't there, and you're going, well, they have a reservation. They just called. They'll be here in a few minutes, and I'm pretty sure they have a set schedule. They don't want to be off their schedule. So if somebody's ready to go, they're going to run that, let's say at 3 p.m. That's when it is. So if they only have 6 people, 7 people, 12 people, they'll run it. And then the next whenever, 4:30 or 5, they're going to keep it that way. I wouldn't think they're going to take reservations. So it kind of makes sense. Is it still 150 though? That's the question. All right. Now let's get into something. We have to talk about the debt box node. The ticker has finally started. You want to earn daily rewards? Well, there's something around called the debt box node, ladies and gentlemen. We have an in-house. This is a SSN Lifestyle is a sister property to the SSN Nation. I created this. I'm the CEO. This is for all of you, actually. This is to help you get that passive income. This is crypto. So if you feel faint of heart with regard to crypto, I would not advise you to take this risk. but this is crypto based on commodities such as oil, natural gas, gold. All right, just to name a few. And then there's some other things like agriculture. So we have a debt box node group business opportunity. I will say you can buy a node by yourself. And before I bring this up, I should put on the screen how much a node does cost. So that way people will understand the significance of this, because some people might be solo artists, like AKA Mr. Cool. He liked to be solo sometimes. He invested and bought some nodes individually without the group. And so therefore, that's why if you want to go buy yourself and buy them, please use the link down below. IX Global is what it's called. You can see on the screen exactly how much the nodes cost. They generate rewards every day. All right. Every 24-hour period, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you can buy the nodes at, let's say, starting at $1,250 to $1,250. Then the next one is aluminum. That's another commodity, bauxite that they use in EVs. Then you have DLG, which actually you can turn in your rewards for actual gold. That's right, actual hard gold. All right, or just let it ride. And grow is agriculture. So they're backed by all this. NatG is natural gas. That's 4,500. That's what we're shooting for, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever amount that you put in to the business opportunity percentage wise, that's what you're able to take out on the 15th and 25th, January 15th and August 15th. I know 25th, August 15th, 2023. Those are the dates you can take out. Otherwise, you let it ride and keep going every day. There's no compounding. Victor Marrero always asks for compounding. No, if you earn 500 rewards, then it's 500 rewards that day, 500 rewards the next day. They can go down because more people buy these nodes. Then that means the rewards have to be shared. So now maybe it's 495. But the key with nodes are the sooner you get in, the better for us or you as an individual, because you're earning the maximum amount of rewards before more people get in. So for instance, natural gas rewards were 20,000 just 3 months ago per day. Now, then they were down to about a month and a half ago, 18,000 every day. Now, because they came out with a rental and other people started getting some more natural gas, they're in the 17,000s per day. So the more people that come, the more rewards are given. But if the coin price rises, all those coins come in handy. All those tokens, because these are actual tokens. What you see, NatG, Grow, DLG, Aluminum, XPLR, BGLD is sold out. Can't do anything with that other than rent now. Now, if you want to rent for a month or 2 or 3, it's $250. But again, once the rental dates are up, you earn no more rewards. That's why you want to own the nodes, because after the nodes are sold out, they turn into NFTs. You still will be earning rewards, because remember, these are based on assets. So again, these are the prices. Now, I will point out the reason why this 4,500 debt box node business opportunity is because maybe somebody wants to get into the natural gas node, but they don't have 4,500. Maybe you have 2,000. Maybe you have 1,000. Maybe you have 250. Well, the minimum is 250 to get in, and then therefore that gets you 5.5% of the rewards if you want to withdraw them. All right, that's how simple this is. If you put in 500, then that means you get 11% of the rewards. It's that simple. Now, there's one little thing. You can actually use the link down below in the description, and there's information that you should read here, because once you put money in, you can never take it out. You can get tokens in your rewards, but it's locked, because the node you own as a group, the node, it's locked. All right, that's how it works. So you can put in increments of 250, and you can use credit through PayPal or debit through or checking account through PayPal, or you can actually pay using USDT and you get to pick on your exit out USDT TRC20, USDT ETH, USDT Matic, USDT. I'm probably missing something else, but they're all choices that you can choose the chain that you want to send or which type you want to send. All right. So, but it's USDT. So that way, and also on the way out, when you check out, make sure you check, I want to pay for the transaction fee. If you don't pay for the transaction fee, there's 3.5% taken out. So that means your $250 would go down to around 240. So that changes your number from 5.3% to 5.5% to 5.3 because that 3.5 was taken out. So I'm just letting you know, make sure you check. I am paying for the transaction fee if you decide to use PayPal. All right. So just keep that in mind as well. Don't mess around. And here you go. Reward withdrawals can be the 15th of January. And this is actually incorrect. July 15th. This is August 15th. Actually, it's not July. I'll have to rethink it. Should have been August. That's what I've been telling everybody. But July is mid. So still fair enough. I'll just leave it since it's actually there. But I've been saying August this whole time. All right. So again, that's group economics. And over on the right-hand side, notice the passive income opportunity. Again, this is up to 5% weekly payout. And we just had another weekly payout of roughly 5%. And we're waiting to reach 5,100. This is also going to be locked. Once we reach 5,100, if you want to get into this, then you can go to the link down below. And the minimum for this is $100 for the 5,100 passive income opportunity. All right. This is Ring of Fire. This is also good if anybody sees this after the fact. And it happens to be 2023 and you can't see it when you go over there. That's because soon as January 2nd rolls around, then it's going to be only available for SSN Lifestyle members to get into any of our Ring of Fire business opportunity programs. So again, I thought it was 100, but maybe it's 250. But either way, if it's 250 or 100, I thought it was 100. But I guess I can't remember everything. We have a lot of stuff going on. That's why it's 250, 500. So anything over 250, you don't have to do 250 increments like you do the 5,800. So you can put in 300, 500, 400. But again, it goes by the percentage you put in. That's what you're going to be earning weekly. So again, if you put in $510, that's 10% above, but we don't have rewards. So it's going to simply be up to 5% of $510. All right. That's how it's going to work. So what is that? I believe that's 25. Well, it's a little more, 27, 50, no, $30 roughly. So that's what you would earn every week, 4 times a month. So there you go. I believe that's the number, something like that. But anyhow, it's up to 5% and it's locked. This is locked for 6 months. If you do the node project, that's locked permanently. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, that's all out the way. And once again, that's SSN Lifestyle. The links are down below in the description. 1 hour, 28 minutes in. Please smash the like button. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Now, again, stock market keeps rising. People are in trouble. Beware, you need cash. And so therefore, you have to start thinking about what are you going to do. Victor Morera was kind enough to give us some ETFs earlier today. ETFs. Here we go. All right. I tried to make a reservation for that new Hard Rock. So there is 750 so far to open the node. Yes, 750 so far. And oh, by the way, I did forget something. Here it is. I should say this. I forgot about this right here. 6 days left. Next Monday, we will be closing this out. So again, in case you misunderstand, we're going for the 4,500, but If we fall short, and let's say we get up to 1250, 1,250, that means we're going to have an option for either a DLG or we'll have an option for XPLR. All right. So those will be the options. If we don't reach our goals, we'll pick out which nodes are going to be within that price range. So we need another 500 to get to the first node that we would be able to get, or we can get a $1,500 node unless they raise the prices, which I hope they don't. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we're going to do it. We need big money, boss. Hey, the only way you're going to get big money is Ring of Fire other business opportunities, but that's a whole nother ball game. Hey, wait, hold on. Big money looks like, let me ask you, Vanessa Comingate, let me go big money. Let me think of things differently, because I look at things differently sometimes. How about this? So, for instance, you create entrepreneurs. The Seamless Genius created something nearly out of thin air because there's one key element. You have the derivative element. You have that element where you can say, hey, I have this for $5,000, and somebody could actually finance it. Without that financing, that would be a long road to hoe if somebody you had to present, I need 5 G's. Now, the flip side is when you start saying, okay, if somebody did have 5 G's, what would they do? That brings a whole nother ball game out there, right? Versus 5 G's that I may have to finance versus 5 G's cash. What should I invest in? Somebody might say, well, okay, I got to do some work. I got to get a return on investment. It's all about return on investments. So if I did 5 G's, let's say had 5 G's, and we put it into, it doesn't matter, 5% per week. All right. So that doesn't seem like a lot, but then you go, okay, that's like $25 a week, $100 per month. Doesn't seem like that much. But then you have that other component when we're talking about, let's talk about the node project. The other component is that you're not earning anything. You're earning rewards. What are the rewards worth? Well, the rewards might be worth, if it's a Nat G, I can't remember what it's at. I think that's at $10 per day. So right now, that 4,500 is $10 per day, $50 for every 5 days. And for 7 days, what are we at? I lost my train of thought, actually. But anyhow, 10 to us, 7 days, $70 a week. So now we're up to 280. I guess that's what it is. 280 a month. So that's not bad. But if the coin price goes up, doubles, now all of a sudden we're at 5 something per month. Because how it works with the nodes is that the commodities, they actually buy the tokens. They burn the tokens with the profits. So now there's less tokens, which should mean the price goes up until you get into a scenario. That's the theory. So then all of a sudden you're earning 1,000, maybe 2,000 per month. Now, a lot of you may know Darcy did something with some node projects from 2 years ago. And they presently generate somewhere like, well, I'm not going to say. Let's just say it's more than $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 per month. All right, from these nodes that were bought 3 years ago. I believe it's 3 years now. All right, these nodes were also 1,000, by the way, at the time. In fact, they were less than that, 500. So she bought several of them, and it's turned into thousands of dollars per month. And it's just generating that for the last 2 years. All right. So this is why this could be major if it works out. All node projects don't work out. But that's where the big money comes from, long range instead of upfront. Now, unless you're the seamless genius, you might be able to make things out of thin air. All right. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Victor Morrell, how's the XLRP, the team open doing? Oh, yeah, that's what it's doing. Wow, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly. It's just generating whatever it is. There's no withdrawals happening. Everybody agreed to let it ride because it doesn't earn compound. It doesn't do anything. So speaking of that, let's go. I don't even go look at it because that's the whole purpose of passive income. Hold on a second. Let me think about what is it. Here we go. I need a certain websites I got to go to because I don't even have the debt box. I should make the debt box part of my browser. So what I'm going to do is this. Come on now. Where's it at? Okay. Yeah, let me go here. All right. So I'm actually going to go log in so people will see what it looks like. Right. Okay. So where's this? Where's my products at? All right. Let's go over here and find out what we've been earning. Laverne Penix, who actually bought his individually as well, he might even know off the top of the head. It was earning 485 when we first started. It went down to, I think, 465 the last time we looked at it. So let's go see what it's earning now. And remember, the XPLR is a scan system to find all these awesome commodities. A scanner from space, ladies and gentlemen. How cool is that? Right? Scanner from space where they can find oil, natural gas, gold, silver, platinum, rhodium. That is pretty impressive if I say so myself. All right, let's go. We're going to go see now. We already did one, ladies and gentlemen, and we got the 1250 XPLR node. So this is what the back office looks like. So you can see it here. That's pretty cool. So there you go. And then I'm going to show the rewards. It's still in there. So XPLR, we started around, I don't know when it first started accumulating. I think it was maybe around, it was August 13th. So maybe it started August 14th because they told me it was going to be 72 hours before it starts earning. And then I checked like 48 hours thinking I had another day and it was already earning. So I don't know when it actually started, whether it was the 13th, 14th, or 15th. But whatever that Monday was, it might have been that Sunday the day before because we already had it at 8 p.m. at night. It already had 485 tokens. So now, see, because more people are buying these XPLRs, we're down to 469 per day per 24-hour cycle. But look at this, 13,810 XPLR tokens. All right. So what this literally means is because we have 20%. So what we're talking about is right now, everybody in has literally 2,000 something reward tokens. All right. They haven't even started yet. Just think about that. They're going to have their own satellite go up, and then they're going to be able to charge people 75,000 and up to scan for this oil, gold, silver, platinum, rhodium, whatever other precious metals and precious resources they're going to be looking at. The XPLR price, it doesn't look like much right now, but you have to always think about the future. If these guys are able to pull this off, remember, this is all high risk, high rewards, ladies and gentlemen. If they're able to pull this off and these prices, instead of having 0.005 and this thing goes into 1 cent, 0.01, or this thing goes into $1 or $2, now all of a sudden, all these coins, your percentage, whatever it is, 20%, all of a sudden, look at here. You just never know what's going to happen when this all comes to fruition. And you can only have visions of grandeur, right? You can only hope. Because if you had 10,000 coins and all of a sudden they're $10, all of a sudden you're going, okay, that's kind of cool. That's $100,000. What are you going to do with it, right? So some people might withdraw, some people might not, but it's up to you how you want to do it. But the thing is, these are still going to be earning rewards. Maybe not 469 every 24 hours. Maybe they only do 50, but 50 free coins for an investment you made a year ago or 2 years ago. That would be awesome, especially if those coins are 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks, right? It's all relative depending on what happens later on. And we never know. Things can change, things can happen. But right now, it's sitting there, it's chilling. We're 469 now, 258, which again, this could change. Maybe it goes to $10 a day like Nat G, right? So you never know. All right. So hopefully you guys understand what we're doing here. And so the next debt box that we're doing, we're trying to get up to that 4,500 number. All right. Okay. Let's go. Now, there's many ways to do the machine. You can advertise as a biz in a box for 5K and be done. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. Again, that I like the plan. I like the plan. Or rentals. I'm still thinking about other options as well. I know there's you have offshoots on that and different businesses, by the way, too. You can do that. Francis Tulay, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And good evening, sir. What investment platform is this? And how can one start to invest in it? Francis Tulay, hopefully I answered your question regarding the debt box node. I actually showed it's the debt box node. Either you can do the IX Academy link down below, IX Global, and that link down below allows you to buy your own node at the price of either starting at $12.50 for the XPLR, or the aluminum node is at $1,500, or the DLG, which is the gold node, at $1,500, or the Grow token node, which is agriculture node, farming, that's $2,500, or the natural gas token, which is $9 or $10 a day right now, at $4,500 for the node. That's how you can do it. The link is down below, or you can join us in a group environment, and that's where you'll see the 4,500 debt box node, where you can put in any increment of $250. And keep in mind, the money is locked permanently, because when you buy a node, you can't take your original investment out. You can only take out the rewards, your percentage of rewards, if you go in the group at the 4,500 debt box. Right now we're at 750. Next Monday is when it's going to expire. So we need $500, $250, $500 more to even get to the XPLR number. We need another $750 to get to the 1,500 for the DLG, and then the 2,500 clearly, and then the 4,500. We still have room to do it, but again, the cutoff is 7 days from now on next Monday's Money Making Monday live stream, and you can use crypto USDT to actually get in, or you can use the PayPal options, which is debit, credit card, or checking account. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, Francis Tulay. Now, if you're referring to the other one where you get a weekly up to 5% payout, then that one is 5,100 passive business opportunity or passive income opportunity. And that is something that's totally different, but your money also is locked, all right, for 6.5 months. And we're waiting for 5,100. But if you put money in, I've already started paying people out while we're waiting to reach our 5,100 goal. And then we have other things at SSN Lifestyle as well. It's the sister property. I'm the CEO and founder of SSN Lifestyle. So again, that's why I talk about it here and help out everybody here first, because it's all based on SSN Nation. This is the starter. The mothership is here. So I always have to share it. 5 machines renting 100 a day is 500. times 2 for a weekend makes me 1,000 a weekend. 5 machines renting 100 a day times 5. Yes, yes. Times 2 people. Yes. 1,000 a weekend, 4,000 a month. But how do you feel about renting is the question. You know how people rent. They might be messing up your stuff. So there has to be some I know we have warranty, which is 36 months, but beyond warranty, because people, it's their printer, your printer. They may not be as nice and take care of it. They just throw it in the back seat or throw it in the trunk, not thinking nothing of it because they're just renting it. So that means we're going to have insurance, or they're going to have some sort of insurance, both of us. So let me know about that. That's the only thing I have with renting when it comes to these hand-to-hand objects. So again, let me know. I know you're thinking about all this, because if you have that paper, that's the kicker. Because I understand the renting, but most people would say, okay, if it's costing me $500 or $250 down and then whatever, $100 a month or whatever the case may be, a lot of people would take that. And the only problem with that is, the only thing I can see is the item is gone. If the person doesn't pay, I'm like having to repo it. And trying to repo a printer is going to be very, very hard. So that's one of my things about that versus like repoing a car. We'll find a car. We just can't find a printer, right? So it's all relative, and that's the risk assessment that you have to take as a business owner. And that's part of being in business, the entrepreneur. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 46 minutes in. So I want to thank everybody once again, but please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel and click the all notification bell. All right. I've been a little light on the commercials. My mouth is getting a little dry. So that means I have to do a little promo. And so what I'm going to do is how about the Napa Valley Jazz Festival 2023? The new SSN Lifestyle promo information has been released, but how you win tickets, a $4,500 package. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Napa Valley Jazz Getaway with Brian Culbertson. Oh, and by the way, they've already started Who's the Whispers, Pieces of a Dream. And I don't know who else is coming, but they're going to be there next year in Napa Valley, California. What does this $4,500 package mean? Two $500 each gold package tickets, which means it's a 3-day pass. That's right, 2 of them. So that's $1,000 in itself. Where are you going to stay at? Well, you guys know. I've been talking about Vino Bello. You know that. So clearly you're going to be staying at the 5-star spot, Vino Bello. Now, when you stay at Vino Bello, they're having these concerts now at Charles Krug. It's not up by where Vino Bello used to be at the vineyard up there. That was pretty sweet, I have to say. But it's at Charles Krug now. So Charles Krug is in St. Helena, past Yountville. So not only do you have the Vino Bello Resort that you're staying for 4 nights, 5 days, and just so you get an idea, in the month of June, it's around $400 to $500 per night to stay there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's SSN Lifestyle. Come on. Now, that is pretty awesome. So that, let's just say it's $400 a night. Doesn't really matter. That's what it is. So you're at $1,600 for 4 nights, 5 days, June 7th through the 11th. You get to go to all the events, meaning, hey, in the afternoon, when they're having a jam session at the Westin, you can go hang out. You have the gold pass. You know, you're going to have the gold stuff. Then when 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night, you're going to the concert. But how are you going to get to the concert? That's the question, right? So that means there's going to be transportation included. That's right. So that's going to be included. The value of that, well, you guys can look it up. Transportation in Napa Valley, when somebody needs to go 20, 30 minutes and they got to drive, Uber may not cut it. So we're going to have transportation services. All right. It's SSN Lifestyle. Now, what else is missing? Some people are going to go, oh my God, I can't. Airfare is going to be $600, $500 from where I'm at to fly into San Francisco, by the way. There's a private airport at Napa or Santa Rosa, let's say. So maybe Santa Rosa, fly into there. That could be cool. But if not Santa Rosa, then you're going to San Francisco. But once again, you're going to need transportation services. All that's going to be included. So now you have airfare. What's airfare in America, in the States? $500 round trip for most major cities, which you're going to have to leave from a major city. Major cities. I mean, every state generally has a major city. Some states are lucky enough to have more than one. So you're going to have to get to a major airport. So I'll use a perfect example, right? So like major airports in Florida, for instance, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, Fort Myers, right? Those are the major international airports. So as long as you leave out of one of those, we might choose, but your closest one, but one of those, then when you go to Georgia, well, what's in Georgia? Atlanta, right? So if you live in Columbus or you live somewhere not near Atlanta Airport, that I'm sorry, but that's the major airport. That's where you'll be leaving from. If you're in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, that's where you'll be leaving from if that's, your choice. All I'm saying is it has to be major. It's not going to be some little stuff that they do up in Wyoming or something, all right? I'm just saying. So you're going to be leaving out of a major city airport location. How you get there is your thing. But again, that's another $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. So the package is going to be worth $4,500 or more. But either way, on the low end, it's $4,500 because transportation from San Francisco or from Santa Rosa to get to there is going to not be $50. Let's just put it that way. We're in the wine country. All right. So all I'm saying is that is going to be a promotion and opportunity for people to win. And you're going to have to do something with SSN Lifestyle, such as you'll be getting points. So if you're going to be in some of these business opportunities, if you're actually referring other people or you're actually selling products and services, you'll be getting some points. The points winner, guess what? You're going to be hanging with Brian Culbertson and all the smooth jazz artists. And, well, they have R&B artists too. So, and they sometimes have a little rock and country style artists. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen because they still haven't announced all of the artists for 2023 yet. All right. So just letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, SSN Lifestyle is on its way. And SSN Lifestyle, April 12th through the 16th in Punta Cana. Special early bird tickets are still $109.99 at the end of this month in 2.5 weeks. Prices go up to $175. VIP, you don't have to pay for tickets. You get in. You're automatically in U+1 for all events. Everybody else, unfortunately, if you're not a Founders Club member, you got to buy tickets. All right. Hopefully that will work. All right. Yes, you're absolutely right. Maybe a rental will be available at stable location. Exactly. That's what I'm saying right there. It's almost like you would have to put it under an inspection type environment, meaning, well, actually don't want to really restrict somebody, but you may have to turn it into leave it here or lock it up here kind of thing. I mean, I don't know how you could do it, but that's one of the liabilities with the rentals. That's why I never like to rent. Again, I've done the same type of businesses. So when I was doing, I'll give an example, Dish Network. And because I'm a dealer, I could have other people working for me, meaning I could give them the receiver and the whole setup. They take it. Now, I used to do a similar rental thing. I would tell them, you got to pay me X amount of dollars up front. But remember, we're not talking about a $4,000 or $2,500 machine. we were only talking about, I think it was 250, 300. So what I would do is I would tell them, you got to give me 150. So then I made them pay me up front because they're saying, I'm going to go sell this or whatever. I'd be like, okay, well, then you got to give me 150, because I didn't want to take the full brunt of the situation. If all of a sudden they're telling me I lost it, it got stolen, whatever. I was like, no, I'm not going to take that hit. You're going to have to give me 150. If you sell it, then I'll give you the commission. So basically I give them back the 150 plus I pay them their 150 or 200, whatever the commission arrangement was. So that's how I did it, just to let you know, because I never wanted to let it out where the person just gets to have it, because then they don't care, right? And that way, I think it cost me 150 to buy another receiver. Not so much the dish, but dishes were dime a dozen. So that wasn't why, that was no worry. So that's why I had to set it up that way. So I told them, you got to give me the price of the receiver. You can take the whole thing with the dish, but you got to pay 150 if you're going to go out here and sell it on your own. You get that back if you sell it, but if this thing don't come back, then I'm keeping the 150. So I made them part of the business with me. Set up deals with beauty salons on the weekend and have it there. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. That's where I was going from the get, because now I'm stable in an environment. I don't have to go looking for customers, but then I can gain customers if I'm actually a nail technician, if the beauty salon allows it, which I think they would, because they generally have space. That's the beauty of it. They generally are going to have like a 5x5 space. So I think this has plenty of potential. And by the way, we actually have a $10,000 fingernails to go business opportunity. I haven't talked about it yet because there's a different thing than what Vanessa Comagate's going to be doing. So, but we may cross paths ultimately, because it has to do with, you have to be where the customers are, right? Or you have to be on the other side that Vanessa Comagate went for. She said, I'm going to the schools to get the people that want to do this as a business first. So then that way they go and utilize this product as part of the business. So that means she has built in business, and she doesn't have to worry about the customer in that case. Versus the other side is, you got to worry about the customer, which is what I was leaning toward. But you put yourself into an environment where customers are just walking in. And then from those walking in, you gain customers, because people are like, oh, I've never seen this before. Holy smokes, I don't have to go over here to the nail salon. You're telling me I can get this printed out here in 5 minutes? Any design I want? Yes, pick your designs, get it printed out, done. Go now go over there on the shelf and go get some stuff. Let's call it what it is. The beauty salon supply store is going to love you, because now you're selling products off the shelf for them, plus you're making money. It's a win-win. So that's why I was leaning towards the beauty salon, if they allow it. Okay, I haven't done any market research yet, but that's why I haven't really started talking about the 10,000, because there's another element to the $10,000 business opportunity, because that has to do with vacation locations where people are actually coming. And now, once again, you're in high density locations where tourists, travelers are there, even hotels, and people are coming in going, I need my nails done. That literally is what happened. Every woman that's with me for the last 30 years, 40 years, ever since I've been an adult, right? Travel, get to a location, swimming, partying, gonna go out to this cool spot. Oh my God, I need a nail salon. It's damn near 100% of the time. All right. How many times every vacation going to find a nail salon, because you're out there not even tripping, right? You're out there having fun. And then next thing you know, they're cracked. Now you go to this cool spots, or a few of them. Now, hey, nails got to get done. In fact, hair's got to get done. All right. Victor Marrero probably knows what I'm talking about. Especially, look, I was at the Hard Rock one time in Punta Cana. And sure enough, wife's like, oh, I got to get my hair and nails done. The spa. Go down to the spa. I don't even know what the damn bill was. It was ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. Can you imagine if it would have been simple things such as, oh yeah, go over here, this machine right here, $50, $40. Done. It was well more than $40. All right, just so you guys know. Yep, just throwing ideas around. Yes, that's what we do, Vanessa Comagate. We got to, we got to spitball sometime. When there's a group of entrepreneurs together, somebody else chime in. Anybody else have any? In fact, let me show people what we're talking about, because a lot of people might be sitting here right now. They're going, hey, what are these guys talking about? This Fingernails to Go. Here, I'm going to show you a short, it's like a promo video for Fingernails to Go, but you'll see the countertop unit. So check this out. Notice it's a subtle, the video is too fast in my opinion. But notice she's taking a picture of a blue wall. It's a mural on a wall. That's what she ultimately gets on her nails at the end when she does this. That's what she's actually showing at the end of the video. And all along, they're showing nails, and those are all made by this printer, by this machine. And the ink from the machine is actually designed for human. All right. So it's not regular ink from a printer that you print on paper. So just keep that in mind. And that's what we're talking about. So you guys can check this out here.
Got my eye on the dance floor, eye on the door. Eye on the dance floor, eye on the door.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. So one of those things is just throwing ideas around. That's exactly right. And this is why she mentions this here. You have to make sure that they can do manicures. This is right here one of the important things. This is why she came out the box with the idea of going to get the people that came out of beauty school who understand how to do manicures. And then in turn, once those people are out there, other people that are the nail technicians that are mobile, all of a sudden they'll be like, oh my God, this is available. Where do I get this at? Because now that cuts down their time and everything. Can you imagine, instead of having to design what a person wants, that design can be printed out and then you can alter it a little bit? That gives you a shrinkage of, you just went from an hour and a half to 2 hours down to possibly 15 to 30 minutes. That's how significant this could be for somebody. And you still get to charge the same amount. Or actually, some would say even more, because now you've saved them time. You actually got the design that's maybe even better and more detailed and faster. So there's something to be said about, hey, time is money. So if you're more convenient, I want to charge more. That's the way I've always looked at it. So let's just say what it is. Cool promo, Robbie D Solutions, Maria G in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Very nice to see you once again. And hit the like button, people. Thank you so much for that. Smash that like button. It's totally free. And please, if you like what we're talking about, please join us on Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m. or Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Live streams. All right. And anybody can join. And if you have any questions, hit the chat. No problems. All right. Maria G says, that's cool. Thank you so much. It is pretty cool. Yeah. So there's plenty of options, ladies and gentlemen, out here. Beware, you need cash. That's what we're talking about tonight, because people, you are going to be in trouble. Whether you think you have a job that is safe and secure right now, that may well be, but you don't know what the future is going to hold. When you still have wars going on around the world, people still acting crazy, no matter what country, you never know what else can happen. You don't even know if there's going to be another COVID-20 or 21, whatever the case may be. You don't know what's going to happen. So therefore, if there's a shutdown, what are you going to do? If you lose your job, what are you going to do? Right? If you have another year where inflation is another 15 to 20%, what are you going to do? You can't have a job and expect to have inflation at even 10% every year. You're not getting a 10% pay hike. So again, I say again, your grandparents, your parents, they're all sitting there saying the same thing. You make 3 times as much as I did. You make 5 times as much as I did. Right, exactly. Except one little problem. What you could buy 25 years ago or 35 years ago for $5, that thing costs $35 now. So it's a big difference. There's no way you can escape, ladies and gentlemen. The economic systems around the world, this isn't just America, every country has their own bank that needs to print fake money. All right? You have to understand what we're dealing with here. It's fake money. You only believe what the numbers say because you believe it. But if the general population all of a sudden said this $100 bill is not 100 and started burning them up, then that means you have a collapse of the currency because nobody's going to accept that as $100. But if I take down a tree and they say, hey, Eric, every 12-inch branch is worth 100, people will start using that if they accept it. All right. So you have to think about it's very, very fragile. The only reason you accept it is because that's the currency. But if one day somebody wakes up and says your currency is no longer world currency, it's now some other country, America is going to be in a world of hurt. And if you don't have situations set up where you have revenues coming in, whether you start your own business, whether you do a passive income business opportunities, if you invest in real estate, however you want to do it, you're going to need it. Whatever it costs today, there's one thing guaranteed. The cost is going to be way more 10 years from now than what it is now. All right. So that's why we talk here in the SSN Nation, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I had to start SSN Lifestyle, because here, no guru zone, SSN Academy, SSN University, we try to get some ideas going. Tonight, Vanessa Comagate was talking again. Once again, there's something very, very special with the fingernails to go, I believe. It gives people an opportunity, but you have to be business minded. This is not business like what we're, for instance, there's differences. If we say, give us $100 and you earn $3 a day, that's one thing. That's passive. That you don't have to do anything. Versus you're going to buy something or rent something and now you actually have to go get customers. That's a whole nother animal. So you have to set yourself up for success and you have to know where to go. And that's what we're talking about here, like the beauty supply stores. That's a natural. Going to hotels or going to a management companies or event companies or something like that, where they know they're having, 100 or 1,000 people coming in this weekend for an event. And then maybe you're going to sit there and they're saying, hey, we have our wind down event, or we have a painting event or whatever. That gives you an opportunity to present something because now you have, they say it's women are coming, right? So now you can go there and say, hey, this is what we have going on. We understand you guys have events this weekend. You're going to be there Wednesday and Thursday. You have events this weekend. Maybe some of you need nails. So again, you put yourself in positions, but you're mobile. All right. There's passive, there's residual, there's mobile. Residual is if you said, hey, I'm going to sign up somebody to be in SSN Lifestyle, or my EasyTron bot, for instance. That's down below in the description. Or, hey, somebody wants to buy a DebtBox node by themselves. That's down below in the description. That's a referral link. So maybe you want to do that, right? So there's different types of businesses that you can do to generate extra streams of revenue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're 2 hours in. We're going to wrap this up shortly. If anybody has anything else they want to say, please, there's a chat room. Make it available. And please join us at 8:50 p.m. on Wednesday Night Live. Now, Wednesday Night Live, I want to point out something. Here's DJ Robbie D Solutions with an icon next to his name on Wednesday Night Live. Only members with the icon can be in the chat room on Wednesday night. All right, just keep that in mind. That's one of the perks that they have is being a member, and you can join me on the screen if you're a member and discuss anything you want to discuss, even if it has nothing to do with topics that we're discussing, because we talk about any topic in reality. All right. Now, hopefully tonight you guys got an idea of some other things that we were discussing, even though we've basically talked about this pretty much before. Before I go, I think I'm going to go look at pre-markets. All right. Let's see what pre-markets are. You guys aren't going to see this. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. You will see it because I'm pre-market, because I'm on DebtBox. I'm going to go pre-market here. And let's go look and see. I still have that on the screen. Where's pre-markets? Oh, okay. We haven't got there yet. Here's pre-markets. Let's see if it's in the green or in the red. What do you guys think? I think green. Sure enough, green. So Wall Street, once again, has said 0.75. We can live with 0.75. Federal Chair Powell. This indicates to me 0.75, or this actually starting to act a little weird, in my opinion. Would the Fed really do 0.5? Because this is what it's acting like. I know the Fed already said they'd do 0.75, but these guys are acting gung-ho here. This is actually kind of strange. So is it going to be really only 0.5? I think it's going to be 0.5 at this point. I was thinking 0.75, but if this comes up another green day, that means they know something we don't. And that means it's going to be 0.5. All right. But either way, it has no bearing on us because we're not able to borrow at 2% interest rates, right? 1.5% interest rate. So it has no bearing on us. What does have a bearing on us is dollar cost averaging for these stocks, because they're going to increase the interest rate again in December. But the stock market loves these small incremental increases, 0.75, 0.5. But this is indicating if this keeps rallying like this, I'm going to start thinking it's 0.5. We're going to find out, though. But that's very, very interesting. Because 0.75 is nothing to sneeze at, especially when you go from 2% to 2.75 or 1.75 to 2.5. That's significant increases. All right. So we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go look at comments before I go. I want to thank everybody for being here. All right. My top crypto income generators now are Freeway US, EMP Money, and Drip Network. I don't know about any of those except Drip. I haven't even looked at Drip crypto price. Has it crept up from, what was it, at $10 at one time, $8? Well, it's at $6.63. Well, maybe. Hold on a second. Let's go look it up. I'm just going by the Google. Let me go pull it for real. Well, that's interesting. It's under $10, if this is the case. Yes, it looks like it is. It looks like 6.8, 6.7. All right. Drip is generating. It's doing what it always has done, but that's a far cry from year over year. That's for sure. Yeah, that's a long way down. That's interesting. But again, I'm not in the Drip ecosystem, so I don't know how Drip generates everything. I know there's rewards. I just don't know how they do it. And the others, EMP Money and Freeway US, I'm not familiar with those. We might have mentioned them before, but we didn't look into them too deep. But glad to hear that, Victor Marrero. What are these returns you're referring to? Because I guess these are all rewards, though, right? On certain networks. BNB, I don't know about the others. Because I'm not even real familiar with Drip, other than I know you still have a referral link for Drip. So I'm pretty sure that's an option. But all of these node projects are looking like the same. All down, all like whatever. Everybody's waiting for some sort of uptick. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday, actually. So everybody, we're going to cancel this out tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and that's why we continue to bring you the very best information that we can and different things to think about with your mind. Don't go with the status quo. Don't follow the crowd. The crowd right now, they're all doing pretty much the same. They're sitting there doing what you should do. Buying gold, buying silver is a good option. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't return any money to you. It's just like putting it at the bank. It doesn't do anything for you. At the bank, you're only going to get less than 1% or 1% annually, but it is what it is. With gold and silver being manipulated, hey, 6 months ago, all of them were higher. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium were all higher. They're down 20, 30%, which is weird because traditionally with inflation, gold, silver, and bonds were the safe havens. But with the advent of crypto, people were, instead of putting their money in gold and silver for the high demand, they started putting them into crypto. So that siphoned off some of the demand for gold and silver. So now, not only has it been manipulated, but now you don't have the demand that you used to have before crypto. So we always wanted to find out what was going to happen when crypto came and there was a recession. We're finding out that it's not a safe haven either. All right. So all we know is most people are betting that we don't want to make crazy bets right now. Most people are betting that if they buy crypto or if they buy real estate when it goes down, or when they buy gold and silver because they're low right now, or when there's stocks that have already decreased 50, 60, 70%, and buy those, they're banking on a recovery. But the question is, what if there's no recovery? That's the $1 million question. So you're going to need commodity nodes, for instance, because those are based on commodities that the world always needs, right? You're going to be invested in your own business in something that's sustainable as well, because let's just face it, like we're talking about the fingernails to go. Women will always get their nails done. Now, you have to understand, because you're here, you have to go search, all right? You don't have to believe anything I say, but you should search what happens when there's a recession. Guess what? People don't give up. That you're not going to believe it. One of those things are women will still get their nails done. They still will go down to the beauty supply store. That's right. During a recession, those same items actually people go and get. All right? That's why Procter & Gamble, P&G, PG, stock market. That's why Johnson & Johnson. That's why those shares you should buy, because they will be staple, because consumer goods, and they don't only have whatever product in your mind you think they have. No, they actually own half of the stuff in every store. All right? You just don't know it. So when you're over there getting some lotion, when you're over there getting some hair care, when you're over here doing something else, getting some cleanup for your kitchen, those two companies pretty much have profits coming to them. So those are companies you think about when there's recessions or when there's a downturn, along with beauty. So again, there's certain things that actually rise during a recession. Some people think Dollar Tree and all that, right? It's only natural people go to those type of places, but that's not actually where it's at. I remember in 2021, we're sitting here and I was telling people, hey, go get that Coty stock, COTY. People were like, he's lost his mind. Yeah, well, we didn't lose our mind. It went from somewhere like $3 up to $16, $18, something like that. So thousands of percent on your money you like, right? So all I'm saying is similar cycles happen again. So just keep all that in mind. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, you always keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.